Well, that was just a disaster all the way through, wasn't it? Feld had their experiment. They had actual airtime on cable television, so they flipped the entire script. They did what you shouldn't do, fix what isn't broken. And by switching the 450s and the 250s, it just destroyed the entire night, in my opinion. It made for lackluster racing. I was pretty bored through the whole broadcast. That's not Feld's fault that the racing sucked, but it might have been because of the schedule, the timing. I mean, I think the timing of the broadcast and the schedule of the broadcast ruined the racing. That is my opinion. That's what I'm sticking with. Say what you will. And the worst part of the night was that 250 start. That start was the worst start I have ever seen in Supercross. I mean, it was just a total disaster. It ruined the entire main event. Now, that's not at fault of the broadcast schedule. That's just fault of one of the racers, Seth Hamaker. He cleaned out half of the entire field, including Swole, Romano, Deegan, McAdoo, Bial, and Ferry. So with those 6, including Hamaker, that is 7 factory guys out of 13. Hamaker cleaned out 7 of 13 factory guys before they even made it to the first turn. He drove them down the entire start straight until he couldn't push them no more because they hit a wall. Absolutely ridiculous. You know, obviously Seth Hamaker didn't do it on purpose, but it is 100% his fault. I mean, there's no denying it's his fault. Just look at the replay. So right here's the replay. We have Max Anstey, Henry Miller, Seth Hamaker, and Tom Vial. Okay? These are the ones you want to keep your eye on. Right here. Henry Miller kind of gets into Seth Hamaker. Then Seth Hamaker, how does that even happen? I mean, if someone bumps into you, how do you, I mean, just the way he folded, like, I don't know. He falls into Tom Vial right there, and then he just like he just got on the throttle. Like he just got on the throttle and never let off and just drove him all the way down the field. Watch this. So right here, we start at the Suzuki banner. The turn's all the way up here. Pushes. 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 Boom. Till he finally gets hit. I mean, they started back here. He pushed from there to there. And then when the rest of these guys got in, they freaking pushed poor Evan Ferry. This dude's lucky he's not a pancake. Boom. I mean, that's absolute. Look at this right here. Tom Vial, Seth Hamaker. Now, Henry Miller kind of gets into him. But look, Henry Miller breaks. So, how did he even... But look at this. His hand is on the throttle. Look, you got Deegan. Dax Bennett barely got away from it. Jalek Swole. Evan Ferry. How is he still up? Seth Hamaker's still up. There he finally hit the ground. Poor Romano. Look at Romano just getting sandwiched under a bike. Oh my goodness. 7 of 13 riders. He took out 7 of 13 factory riders. And that's not even mentioning how many privateers he took out. So Hayden Deegan, Nick Romano, Jalek Swole, they're able to get up and get going again. But poor Deegan, his bike is just mangled, his handlebars. I mean, his left side's fine, his right side's down here. I mean, you try riding a bike like this. I've tried doing it. It's not easy. Like, you're not doing doubles and triples and rhythms like this. So Deegan's race just completely ruined. Jalek Swole, since Swole got up so quick, he was able to work his way up into the top 10. I think he finished either 7th or 8th. So that's pretty good considering he was laying on the ground in the first turn. That shows that he's ready to ride, and that Triumph bike is ready to let him ride. So we got our answer on the Triumph. Whether it would be good or not, it's definitely good to go from laying on the ground to being in the top 10 within 15 minutes. That's a good ride by Jalek Swole. Nick Romano, he was able to make it into the top 15, but when you have 3 or 4 riders out, that's not saying too much. He only made up 3 or 4 positions. I think his bike was damaged too. Something probably happened to him, but those guys were lucky that they were able to get up and get going at all. Evan Ferry never re-entered the track. The same for Seth Hammaker and Cullen Park. They was just done. Their night's ruined. You saw Hammaker on the side of the track in the pit area. They was working on his handlebars, but they were just so mangled they couldn't do anything to it. I don't know if Cullen Park got injured. I don't know if Evan Ferry got injured. Hopefully them boys are all right, and they can come back in 2 weeks and just write this one off as a mishap. But other than that, Austin Forkner, he had an incredible night. He did exactly what he needed to do. He come out, he won his heat race, he got a whole shot in the main event, led wire to wire, got that black cloud out from over him. So it's only one round, but he made it farther than he did last year. And the way he was talking in his interviews, the way he's working on his technique and everything, I think his days of making mistakes are over. I think Forkner is very well on his way to a championship. Obviously, you're going to have Hayden Deegan and a couple other guys up there battling with him, as long as they can make it through the first turn next round. But I see Forkner stealing this championship easily. He is more than capable of it. He's proven it time and time again. All he has to do is stay off the ground, and it is an easy win. Chance Hymas, he rode good. He rode around in second place for most of it. Ended up getting passed by Max Anstey. Then he made a mistake. I think he went down. He ended up in 10th place. Should have been in 3rd. If he wouldn't have made a mistake, he would have been. Max Anstey, he rode a good clean race. He started in 3rd place. Worked his way past Hymas. Once he got past Hymas, he tried to catch Forkner. Forkner was riding too good. Couldn't make a push to him, so he settled for 2nd. But that's a pretty good way to start off your championship. Better than the rest of them laying on the floor. But overall, I was highly disappointed. We didn't get to see what we should have seen. We should have seen Hammaker, McAdoo, Deegan. We should have seen all these guys battling up front. See whether they could run with Forkner or not. But we didn't get that chance. Now we got to wait 2 more weeks to see where these guys actually fit in. That's a good thing because it'll give these guys time to heal up if they're injured. So they'll be ready to go by the time the gate drops in 2 weeks in Arlington, Texas.